We're only a few days away from the final episode of Season 1 of Andor. I feel like there are a lot of questions left and only maybe an hour or so of runtime to answer them, so today I'm just going to go through everything I hope the finale addresses. To be clear, if we don't get any answers to some of these, that's okay. There's still another season to go, and as far as I'm concerned, Tony Gilroy and the other writers have earned my trust. They have been meticulous with this first season and its storytelling. We will have time to revisit some of this stuff in Season 2 if necessary. First, I'd like to follow up on Kenari and Cassian's sister. We saw a Separatist ship crash on Kenari, except it wasn't a Separatist ship, it was a Republic ship that for some reason carried the logo that will eventually be used by the Separatists. Okay, that's kinda confusing, and to be honest, I forgot about all that until I started to look back over all 11 episodes to write this video. I don't need the series to tell us what the deal was with that logo. I don't think it's that important. I can wait to find out from some other source. But Kenari and Cassian's sister feel more important. We know there was already some sort of mining happening on the planet. There were rumors of a mining disaster, but that sounds like BS to me. Something happened on Kenari. I would like to know what. Marva tried to tell Cassian to stop looking for his sister as well. It's very possible she was telling the truth, or was correct in her assumption that Cassian's sister is dead, but from a writing standpoint, that was halfway through the season, like a reminder to the audience that this story thread is still dangling out there just waiting for someone to pull it. People have thrown theories out there, and earlier in the season I waved them off. I'm still skeptical, but I feel like every episode that goes by I'm a little more open to the idea of Clea being his sister. I don't know that I want them to go in that direction, but surprise sibling reveals is admittedly a very Star Wars thing to do. And I will use Clea as a bridge to get to Luthen. I think there are still more mysteries to be revealed about him. He's been one of the most interesting characters to watch this entire series. Every new episode sheds a little more light on the truth. This is something else that I don't think I necessarily need to see in the series. I feel like I know enough about who he is that I won't demand to know who he was. This is one of those stories I could see happening in a book. His backstory isn't essential to this series, but I would like to know what it is. How did he come to own the art gallery? Why is that Kyber crystal so important to him? People have suggested he's a secret Jedi, and I could kind of see that, but like Clea, I don't think I want them to go that direction. But something I do think should be expanded upon is this vow that's been mentioned a few times. Luthen, Mon Mothma, Vel, Lonnie Young, and so on, they've all taken some vow. That's vague enough that I guess we can figure out the basics ourselves through context clues, but they've brought it up enough times that I think it'll be significant. Maybe not in Season 1, I think that could be explored in Season 2, but I don't think they would bring it up in multiple episodes if it were meant to be ambiguous in the end. That brings us to Mothma and Lita. It seems like the emotional and political climax to her story will be how she handles Lita and Davos Golden. Will she go through with the proposal or not? I think this has to be answered in the finale. I think it will be, but I also feel like there is so much going on we might spend the entire story on Ferrix with Cassian and all that chaos, because just about every character in this series except for Mothma is headed there. Which brings me to my next question: how do Mon Mothma and Cassian Andor meet? I was hoping that would happen this season, but I think it's looking unlikely. Mothma is the big picture Rebel Alliance leader, Cassian is the boots on the ground rebel. I want to see those two worlds meet and interact, and it's fine if that doesn't happen until Season 2, but I'd like to get to that point in Season 1 if we can. I'd like some follow-up on Anto Krieger and his attack. I think it's safe to assume he and his people will be wiped out. We don't need to see it, but again, it's been brought up so many times that I think there will be some important fallout from Luthen's decision to sacrifice that entire rebel group. On Ferrix, I want to know what happens when the sound of a reckoning stops. Going back there, I think we're going to see the citizens making noise again like we saw in episodes 3 and 8. Again, we're getting that repetition. We're being reminded this is something the citizens of Ferrix do. Marva warned the Corpos they need to be worried when the sounds stop, but not a whole lot happened in episode 3. I think this time around will be different. And I just want to revisit some of the characters, like Vetch, how's he doing? And the Time Grappler. It was great seeing him in episode 11, but I could see him actually joining in on making sounds. He could climb up his tower and start wailing on his time stone to signal that it's time for something big. I don't know, I just want to see that aspect of Ferrix culture return in a big and satisfying way. The final question I want answered is, did Sly Moore enjoy Perrin's dinner party? I'm still a little disappointed we didn't get to see her in this season, so far, and we probably won't. I'm mostly joking now, but I would welcome her actual appearance. There are certainly other questions, like what were they building in the prison? Where is the Aldani money? Did Cinta kill those hostages? Will Cassian ever read Nemik's manifesto? What happened between Cassian and the clone troopers? I'm fine not knowing what was being built in the prison. I do think the Aldani money could come into play, hopefully to help Mothma, but it might not. I don't know if I want to know what Cinta did to those hostages, and I'm happy to assume Cassian will eventually read Nemik's manifesto, even if it happens off-screen. I assume Cassian was arrested and thrown in jail, like he mentioned, for trying to stand up to the Empire, but I think that brings me to the end of my list. So what questions do you hope to have answered in the season finale? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for all our Andor coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page for our video reactions and audio commentaries for every new episode. And you can check out this playlist for all of our existing Andor content. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.